Jacki Lyden and her two sisters grew up in Menominee, Wisconsin, but their childhood was anything but ordinary. At a young age, their grandmother told them their mom was gone, staying in a, quote, nut house because her nerves were shot. Later, the girls learned their mom had a mental illness we now call bipolar disorder or manic depression. So what's it like to grow up with a mom who's struggling with delusions and mental illness? Jacki explains in her new book. It's called Daughter of the Queen of Sheeba, and she joins us now to talk about it. We're so excited to have you. You were the oldest of three girls. You grew up in a house. Your mom was married to your dad and then eventually remarried, and you had a stepfather. And it was after that that you sort of became aware, the whole family did, that your mom was ill.
Well, I think, and just to, in the book, which I wrote actually, Molly, some years ago, but in paperback, it's been re-released continually. We actually grew up, and I didn't want to say, even when I was writing this book, partly for privacy's sake, that the real place we grew up is in Delafield, Wisconsin.
Oh, it was?
So right nearby.
Okay.
And our mother coped with a very severe family. Coped is not the right word. Our mother sort of fractured, actually, when she was in her early 30s. And
when was this picture taken of her?
Oh, in this picture, that would be about the time that I was first aware that she was mentally ill. She's in her late 30s in this picture. And
gorgeous.
Married. She's a gorgeous woman. She's both a former model and a former legal secretary here in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And, you know, I have said that her illness is the bonfire my family all got warm around because she thought she was the Queen of Sheeba. This was one of her early bipolar delusions. And she bequeathed to me Mesopotamia. And I grew up to become a Middle East correspondent for National Public Radio.
And
NPR.
that's for real. That's not a delusion. You really work for NPR.
I really do, yes. Not a delusion.
Yeah.
Pretty consuming. But, you know, how to thrust and parry and deal with the illness when you are a child.
And what was a child's perspective? I mean, your mom was delusional. There, with bipolar disorder, there are ups and downs. There are horrible mood swings sometimes.
We mostly had the manic side of the cycle. My mother was Marie Antoinette. She was the CEO of her own foundation. She bought a horse. She bought a sports car. We had quite the wild ride. And so children feel very protective. And I used to say, Molly, you can see from this picture, we have come through the other side. Children feel very protective often of a delusional parent.
Is it embarrassing?
I would say that I felt more sensitive than actually embarrassed, but I should stress that our mother was not cruel or necessarily abusive to us. I think in those kinds of situations, that adds in another element. I was very aware that there was her and that she was ill. This is a picture, by the way, from a stage dramatic reading from my book, Daughter of the Queen of Sheeba, which the actress Joan Allen, who many of your viewers will know, she was in Nixon, I remember most recently, a TV movie, an actress from Chicago. Joan played my mom. Lauren Ambrose, who was in 6 Feet Under, played me. This book has attracted a lot of attention from people.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because I know that the book's been published in 11 languages. It was a national bestseller. It's never gone out of print, which is incredible. It's been optioned for a film. And most recently, you got the attention of actress Glenn Close, right? And I think movies like Silver Linings Playbook, for example, are helping to destigmatize mental illness in very important ways, and I think it's exciting that your book has received this kind of attention.
Thank you, Molly. That means a lot to me.
And I appreciate you sharing your both heartbreaking and inspiring story with us. Thank you so much.
So happy to be here. Thank you.
Great to meet you. Thank you. For more Morning Blend, go to themorningblend.com.